Martin Luther King Jr. was born on January 15, 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia, and was sadly assassinated on April 4, 1968 in Memphis, Tennessee. He was an African American Baptist minister and an African American civil rights leader. Through his impeccable leading style and powerful messages to the world, he single-handedly enacted a major change in the minds of political leaders, which gave way to African Americans gaining more rights in America. A very famous quote made by him was,
"I have a dream,"
which was the name of his well-known speech that helped change the face of America today. We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. I've decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. Never succumb to the temptation of bitterness. Out of the mountain of despair, a stone of hope. A right delayed is a right denied. We are not makers of history, we are made by history. Intelligence plus character, that is the goal of true education. We must build dikes of courage to hold back the flood of fear. You can kill the dreamer, but you can't kill the dream. We must learn to live together as brothers or perish together as fools. The quality, not longevity, of one's life is what is important. The moral arc of the universe bends at the elbow of justice. There can be no deep disappointment where there is no deep love. We may all come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. A lie cannot live. Malcolm Little was born May 19, 1925 in Omaha, Nebraska, and was also sadly assassinated in Washington Heights, New York on February 21, 1965. Malcolm X was an African American human rights activist. He preached self-worth to the community of blacks in America and tried to teach many to reflect on where they came from and what they have accomplished, while also teaching them to love themselves and appreciate who they are and what they have. A man curses because he doesn't have the words to say what's on his mind. You can't separate peace from freedom because no one can be at peace unless he has his freedom. A wise man can play the part of a clown, but a clown can't play the part of a wise man. A man who stands for nothing will fall for anything. Education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. Hatred and anger are powerless when met with kindness. One day, may we all meet together in the light of understanding. Culture is an indispensable weapon in the freedom struggle. If you have no critics, you'll likely have no success. Power ever takes a step back only in the face of more power. Freedom is something that you have to do for yourselves. Do your best work. Some of history's most important battles don't take place in a war zone. Sometimes freedom is won in the pristine halls of a courtroom, and there were few warriors more skilled in that area than Thurgood Marshall. Born in 1908 to a school teacher and a railroad porter, Marshall became a lawyer and fought for social justice as the staff lawyer of the NAACP. His most famous case was Brown versus Board of Education of Topeka, 1954, where Marshall successfully argued that educational facilities that separated students by race were not equal. This wasn't the only time Marshall would take on the highest court in the land in pursuit of justice. In fact, Marshall argued and won more cases before the Supreme Court than anyone else in American history. Eventually, Marshall's position in the courtroom shifted from the courtroom floor to the judge's seat. Thurgood Marshall became the first black Supreme Court justice in the U.S., gaining a reputation for expanding civil rights and protecting the American people from systems of oppression. Even when the words do not seem harsh or offensive, the impact is shattering. Equal means getting the same thing at the same time in the same place. Sometimes history takes things into its own hands. The measure of a country's greatness is the ability to retain compassion in the time of crisis. Certain people have a way of saying things that shake us at the core. You do what you think is right and let the law catch up. A man can make what he wants of himself if he truly believes that he must be ready for hard work and many heartbreaks. Truth is more than a mental exercise. Deciding not to decide is, of course, among the most important things done by the Supreme Court. In recognizing the humanity of our fellow beings, we pay ourselves the highest tribute. Rosa Parks was born on February 4, 1913, in Tuskegee, Alabama, and unfortunately died on October 24, 2005, in Detroit, Michigan. Rosa Parks was a civil rights activist who played a major role in the equality of blacks and whites in America. One of her many commitments to trying to provide equality for everyone was refusing to move to the back of a bus to let a white individual sit. Through her strong involvement in the community, she gained these titles from the United States Congress called the First Lady of Civil Rights and the Mother of Freedom Movement. There is no future without education. You must never be fearful about what you are doing when it is right. To bring about change, you must never be afraid to take the first step. We will fail when we fail to try. Without vision, people perish, and without courage and inspiration, dreams die. I'm tired of being treated like a second-class citizen. Each person must live their life as a model for others. Memories of our lives, of our works, and our deeds will continue in others. I would like to be known as a person who is concerned about freedom and equality and justice and prosperity for all people. One person can change the world. Known as the jewel of the Harlem Renaissance, Zora Neale Hurston was one of the most successful and most impactful Black women writers of the 20th century. Hurston grew up in the first incorporated all-Black town in the country in Eatonville, Florida. Eatonville was a large inspiration from where her stories were based. Over the course of her life, Hurston published 4 novels, 2 books of folklore, an autobiography, multiple short stories, numerous essays, articles, and plays. Her literary voice was lyrical, authentic, and didn't pull any punches when it came to the reality of the Black experience. By her death in 1960, Hurston was a renowned anthropologist, author, playwright, and folklorist. Without a doubt, Zora Neale Hurston's voice is a vibrant thread in the tapestry of the Harlem Renaissance. I made up my mind to keep my feelings to myself since they did not seem to matter to anyone but me. They seemed to be staring at the dark, but their eyes were watching God. There are years that ask questions and years that answer. When one is too old for love, one finds great comfort in good dinner. She wanted to struggle with life, but it seemed to elude her. I belong to no race nor time. I am the eternal feminine with its strings of beads. Let the deal go down, boys. Let the deal go down. No matter how far a person can go, the horizon is still way beyond you. Lack of power and opportunity passes off too often for virtue. It seems that tears and laughter, love and hate make up the sum of life. Justice, like beauty, is in the eyes of the beholder. If you are silent about your pain, they'll kill you and say you enjoy it. Learning without wisdom is a load of books on a donkey's back. An envious heart makes a treacherous ear. If you haven't got it, you can't show it. If you have got it, you can't hide it. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you like this, and watch out for our next video. Thank you for watching.